If you have one of these, then I know for a fact you've definitely got a smile on your face at the moment. Today we're going to talk about why this logo right here is going absolutely insane. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Welcome back to the 0 to 6 Figure Portfolio series. My name is Waj and we are at $92,000. A few things have happened. Firstly, our winners have been winning. And you can see this clearly with Hyperliquid at the largest position in my portfolio, making almost a third of the portfolio now. It's up 63%. And I mean, if you look at the chart, have you ever seen anything like this for a big cap? I mean, we're not talking about a $10 million coin. We're not talking about 100 million, not even 1 billion. We're talking about a 24 billion FDV crypto asset now, and this launched at just 2 billion. It's done a 12x in about 2 weeks. And the dips, whatever dips happen, just get completely eaten. And I can't remember the last time that I've ever seen anything like this. This is truly, truly extraordinary. Yeah, I didn't sell the airdrop and I kept it. This airdrop wasn't worth that much. It was worth a decent amount, but it wasn't crazy. The fact that right now the airdrop is worth almost $30,000 is absurd to me, like truly, truly absurd. It's been one of the reasons why the portfolio has done phenomenally well over the last month, you could say. So Hyper's done amazing. Look at this, right? Hyperliquid is by far the number one derivative application. They're doing 3.5 billion in daily volume. It's multitudes larger than some of the others that we've got. In fact, you could aggregate all of the other top 10 and it won't even add up to anywhere near what Hyperliquid is doing. So it's in a league of its own. I mean, and if you look at the fact that Hyperliquid is actually now a chain, it should be valued like a chain. And so when you look at where Hyperliquid is, and yes, you could argue that a lot of the TVL now is just based on its own token, but I mean, just based on what it is and what's going to come for Hyperliquid, you know, you're valuing it similar to kind of some of these chains, which is why it's like valuation FDV wise is similar to the likes of Avalanche. It's half of that of SWI. It's half of that, more than half of that of BSC. And obviously it's quite a while away from Solana and Ethereum. So it just kind of makes you think, actually, Hyperliquid, you know, if it is going to be this incredible chain, they've already got the incredible product with spot and derivative products now as well. If it is going to be this incredible chain, then, you know, Hype actually as a token is actually very, very, very interesting. And we've already seen, you know, tons of teams commit to building that. I think right now the ecosystem is still fairly immature, but we're going to see all of this come to fruition when the Hype EVM chain goes live, which we're anticipating to be not so far in the distant future. And I think part of the reason why it's doing so well is because of the anticipation of this. And I think it's going to be truly, truly fascinating. And that's kind of why Hype is doing amazing. What you find is a lot of the other ecosystem tokens as well are printing. I mean, these are just the spot tokens that you can buy. Yes, some of them have incredibly low market caps, but I mean, look at the green that we're seeing just in the last 24 hours. A lot of these tokens up 100, 200%. And if you're really, really deep in the trenches here, I mean, you can find some good finds here, absolutely. I've been playing around with some of these tokens as well. Some of them have been pretty fun to play around with and trade around with. So there's some big ones on here as well now. I mean, if we just filter them by market cap, we've got Hype, obviously the largest, and then we've got the official meme coin of Hyperliquid trading at 300 million. And you've also got some other tokens now trading at 200 million. This is H-Fun, where you can launch tokens, and a few other memes really sending it now. And I think this has been really interesting to see kind of all of this happen. Really, has it really caught me by surprise? Perhaps a little bit. I didn't expect it to be up only like this. I mean, I could foresee a future where this would happen, but the fact that it's happened in such a short period of time has really taken me by surprise. Now, so that's kind of why Hype has performed really well. One thing that's interesting is ValiDAO is catching a massive bid as well. It's up 50% in the last 24 hours. It's still a fairly low market cap coin, and remember, we were talking about this like all the way down here, and now we're finally, you know, earning those rewards. You know, our hard work in terms of research is finally paying off. I think one thing that's going to go really well for ValiDAO is, firstly, people are picking up that it is a Hyperliquid ecosystem token. Secondly, I think when Hype staking goes live, ValiDAO's assets under delegation is going to go up only. I think purely just because there's going to be so many and so many people within the DAO that have a large amount of hype that are looking to stake. They will likely stake, and they will like to earn those rewards when the ecosystem goes live. And I think naturally, ValiDAO's AUD goes up, and I think at that point, then I think it becomes a real catalyst for it to go crazy, possibly to break that all-time high. Now we are obviously still a way away, and I think one thing to note is that the volume on this isn't the most insane. The liquidity isn't the most insane. This is a small, low market cap coin, but it's one that I really enjoy, and I'm happy that I've got some good exposure here. I think when you're talking about 15 million, and the matter of fact is these coins can do multiples day to day on the upside, but also on the downside too. So look, ValiDAO's been doing fantastic. I think part of that is purely because of the hype narrative. We've got a lot of Hyperliquid exposure as well at the moment. And the other thing that's been performing really well is, of course, AI agents. And AI agents have consistently over the last month been the narrative to partake in. This actually dipped quite substantially, and we're almost at all-time highs again on AI XBT. I think if we look at like the likes of like AI 16Z, again, it's a very similar thing. I mean, this is banging on all-time highs. I've been going on about this as well for a while, but I think like AI agents seem to be the narrative at the moment, and I don't think that you can fade them. Whether you like them or not, I think that's where attention is. And I think one of the best things about them is that they just keep getting better. Every single week there's something new. There's some new innovations. There's these aren't like these VC coins that have a low float, high FTV. You can kind of see the progress being built every single week, and every single week these agents get better and better. And some of these start off, being like a meme, and they end up being some really sophisticated technology, which I really love about them. So I think my advice is, be in the trenches, try and learn about what's going on within these different ecosystems, whether it's AI 16Z, whether it's Cerebro, whether it's the Virtuals ecosystem. Try and study. You'll find fantastic opportunities there, and that's definitely what I'm going to be doing, to try and finish this portfolio, because we're almost there now. As mentioned, we're at 92,000. I genuinely think that we could finish this by tomorrow, really. It just depends on how the market goes, but I'm very happy with the progress that we've made over the last month. It's definitely been the best month of the portfolio by far, up over 100% in the last month, which has been amazing. Just wanted to share another update with you guys and let you know what's going on. I still believe that AI is the play for the cycle, and so AI is going to always be my biggest bet. We'll see how it goes, of course. And then I think there's still plenty of upcoming opportunities and narratives which I will be playing. So yeah, for now, I think the Hyperliquid ecosystem and AI agents, like, they contain all of the mindshare that crypto has right now. That probably will change, and I don't know how much more hype is going to go up in the short term. I mean, there's a chance that this could kind of settle down a little bit, maybe pull back a little bit. I don't know, but I don't think that. I think like the risk reward buying here compared to anywhere down here is completely different. So just something that I am, paying attention to a little bit. I am a little bit aware of like what's happening and where things are going at the moment. So there might be some changes. I think the things that I may consider changing would be to reduce the hype exposure, and to look at some more agents. So if you do see some changes in the portfolio, and you can track this in real time by looking at the link in the description, if you're watching this in a few days' time, you'll be able to see if I've basically sold some hype, which I think we're getting close to that point anyway, where I would like to kind of possibly reduce a little bit here and chuck that into some agents instead. And I will be doing a lot of research into some new agent coins, some new opportunities, because they're always there. And I think right now that is the kind of narrative that you want to partake in. It won't be like that forever as well. I think there's going to be some upcoming narratives in the month of January, the likes of Chain, for example, which I think you definitely do not want to fade. But yeah, here we are anyway. Let me know what your thoughts are. Otherwise, nothing has changed in the portfolio. I haven't added or sold any assets. I'm very excited for Simio. So the token is launching on Monday. We'll see where we are with that. Maybe that will help us get very close to finishing that portfolio. It remains to be seen. And otherwise, I think generally I'm kind of happy with things at the moment. DeFi seems to be quite the poor performance at the moment, although Lit is actually up a decent amount. I think people are thinking about the Uniswap V4 narrative. Dinero as well hasn't had the best day in general. It's been fairly flat overall. I'm thinking about what I should do about this position long term, but at the moment it's such a small position in the portfolio, it doesn't make a big difference. And otherwise I'm kind of happy with kind of how ETH and Bitcoin and Solana are doing right now. So yeah, overall nothing really to change too much there. Yeah, Tau hasn't been the best performer either, but I still am extremely bullish on BitTensor. I think that the variety of subnets are very interesting. There are even some agent platforms on BitTensor too. So I think you could argue that this kind of taps into that a little bit, although not directly with being agent infra or being an agent itself. But I like the stability that I have with some of these larger assets. Anyway, so yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and we'll be back with another update sometime next week.